called atrial flagellates or lumen flagellates because they are found in the small intestine or the large intestine of the human host. Okay, so there are also other flagellates, but let's start with the atrial flagellates. Okay, so the first one is Giardia duodenalis, or also known as Giardia intestinalis and Giardia lamblia. So the same lang yan silang tatlo, duodenalis, intestinalis, and lamblia, but the most recent naming for it is Giardia duodenalis. Okay? So it is associated with kanina, gay bowel syndrome. Diba? Gay bowel syndrome. And it is the only protozoan intestinal flagellate that lives in the small intestine of humans. So only protozoan intestinal flagellate na pathogenic that lives in the small intestine of humans. Okay? And it is the only protozoa, so you can put it there, only protozoa with a sucking disc for attachment. Okay, so only protozoa with a sucking disc for attachment. And there are two forms of Giardia lamblia. So the first form is trophozoid. So the trophozoid is pear or teardrop shape, diba? Pear or teardrop shape. Parang teardrop ang kanyang shape. And it has 4 pairs of flagella and an axostyle. So 4 pairs of flagella, that's why flagellate siya, diba? And it divides by longitudinal binary fission. So divides by longitudinal binary fission. And its appearance is old man with eyeglasses or smiling face appearance. Pwede rin yung kanina, diba? Tennis racket without handle appearance. So old man with eyeglasses and smiling face appearance, and tennis racket without handle. It also has, you can put it there, it also has a parabasal body which is sausage shaped. Parabasal body which is sausage shaped. Okay? So its movement is characteristic din itong movement niya. Jerky, falling leaf, kite-like. So jerky, falling leaf, kite-like movement is characteristic of Giardia lamblia. Okay? And it cyst, so okay na tayo sa trough, pear and teardrop shape, old man with eyeglasses or smiling face appearance, or tennis racket without handle appearance. That its movement is jerky, falling leaf, or kite-like shaped. Okay? So next is the cyst. So the cyst has flagella retracted into axonemes. So wala masyadong characteristics sa cyst niya. Yun lang sa trough niya. Yung old man with eyeglasses, diba? Halos lahat tayo is familiar with the old man with glasses appearance of the Giardia duodenalis. Okay? So next, clinical manifestations. Attachment at pH 3 to 8. So pH 3 to 8. And di ba kanina, passage of greasy, frothy stool that floats on toilet water because of the appearance of fat, lymph, mga ganyan sa kanyang stool. That's why it is greasy, frothy, and floats on toilet water. So what do you call it? It is steatorrhea. Diba? You remember? Steatorrhea. Also, it is connected to one of the types of diarrhea in which we call as traveler's diarrhea. So it can cause steatorrhea and traveler's diarrhea. And it can also cause malabsorption. So, di ba kanina, malabsorption, what is it called? Leningrad's curse. Leningrad's curse. Okay? So, steatorrhea, traveler's diarrhea, Leningrad's curse. And also, it can cause intestinal inflammation. Diba? Inflammation. It can attach to the mucosa of your intestines, causing intestinal inflammation. Okay? So what are the treatment for Giardia lamblia? So metronidazole, in which it produces a metallic taste in the mouth, tinidazole, and furazolidone. So metronidazole, tinidazole, and furazolidone. Okay? And pwede mo ring i-take note na ang steatorrhea is the passage of greater than 6 grams per 72 hours of stool na fat. So greater than 6 grams fat per 72 hours. So, kasi diba, do you remember na ang fat test for stool, yung Van Kamer, is 72 hours stool, diba siya? So when you go to clinical microscopy, you will know that. So steatorrhea is actually the passage of greater than 6 grams of fat per 72 hours stool sample. Okay? So what is the infective stage of Giardia lamblia? So, cyst, diba? And the diagnostic stage of Giardia lamblia is cyst and trophozoid. So infective, cyst, diagnostic, cyst, and trophozoid. So what are the diagnostic tests? Diagnostic test. So first is DFS or direct fecal smear. So alam niyo na yan, direct fecal smear. Pwede rin zinc sulfate flotation. Pwede rin duodenal aspiration. And the most common question is entero test. Yun yung may ipapakain sa'yo na parang gel-like capsule, and then it will get the trophozoid. So you will get the trophozoid of Giardia lamblia. Okay? So DFS, zinc sulfate flotation, duodenal aspiration, and entero test. So what again is the infective stage? Cyst. And the diagnostic stage, cyst and trophozoid. Okay? So next. Next is Chylomastix mesnili. So Chylomastix mesnili is actually a commensal. So it does not cause any clinical manifestations. But it is worthy to note that its infective stage is the cyst, and its diagnostic stage is the trophozoid. So infective is cyst, if is cyst, while the diagnostic is the trophozoid. So, there are two forms of the Chylomastix mesnili. So, the trophozoid is pear-shaped. So, pear-shaped. Pear-shaped trophozoid. And its movement is spiral boring forward movement. Spiral boring forward movement. So, yung pear shape, it can also be called as shepherd's crook shape or pattern because it has a spiral groove across its body. That's why it is called as shepherd's crook. Okay? So next is, the cyst is lemon or nipple shaped. Diba? Na-tackle na natin yun kanina. Lemon or nipple shaped. So it has a protuberance, knob-like protuberance. You can see sa baba, sa picture, it has an anterior knob-like prominence. That's why lemon or nipple-shaped cyst. Pero pag lemon-shaped egg, di ba? Paano pag lemon-shaped egg? Trichuris tricura. Pero pag lemon or nipple-shaped cyst, Chylomastix mesnili. Okay, so we're done with Chylomastix mesnili. Actually, the best stain for Chylomastix mesnili. So, best stain for Chylomastix mesnili is iron hematoxylin. So the best stain is iron hematoxylin. And you can see Chylomastix mesnili in the cecal region of the colon. So sa starting region of the colon. Okay? So now we will go to Dientamoeba fragilis. So Dientamoeba fragilis was classified dati as an amoeba. But it is now a flagellate. So flagellate na siya ngayon. And it only has a trophozoid stage, no? So it does not have cystic stage. Okay? Trophozoid lang. And its nuclei is rosette-shaped nuclei. So rosette-shaped nuclei. And it has a binucleated trophozoid. Kaya nga, Dientamoeba because dalawa, two nuclei, binucleated trophozoid. Okay? So next is, its transmission is fecal oral route and through the eggs of Enterobius vermicularis and Ascaris lumbricoides. So when there is transmission of Enterobius vermicularis and Ascaris lumbricoides eggs, there might be likely transmission of Dientamoeba fragilis. So through fecal oral route, like that both of the parasites sent. Okay? So next is its clinical manifestation. So its clinical manifestation may resemble IBS or irritable bowel syndrome. So Dientamoeba fragilis, IBS or irritable bowel syndrome, and it has a colicky abdominal pain. So colicky abdominal pain. Okay? So we're done with the flagellates. atrial flagellates na Chyloma 6 mesnili, Giardia lamblia, and Diantamoeba fragilis. Now let's go on to the trichomonads. So the trichomonads, this is composed of the 3 Trichomonas species. So Trichomonas vaginalis, Trichomonas tenax, and Trichomonas hominis. Okay? So the trichomonads, all of them have only the trophozoite stage. So wala silang cystic stage. So ano ay yung mga walang cystic stage? Trichomonas, Diantamoeba fragilis, di ba wala din siyang cystic stage, and Entamoeba gingivalis. Okay? So what is the shape of the trichomonads? So they are pear-shaped. Pear-shaped ang trichomonads. Okay? And their motility is jerky motility. Jerky motility. Okay? Jerky motility. And what aids in their locomotion is their flagella. And the thickening of the membrane is called undulating membrane. Okay? So flagella aids in locomotion, and the thickening of their membrane, undulating membrane. Okay? So they have rounded anterior end and pointed posterior end. Kaya nga sila pear-shaped. Diba? And it has a small cytostome on one side of the anterior end. So let us go first to the first trichomonad, which is Trichomonas vaginalis. So it is the only pathogenic trichomonas. So yung dalawa, commensals lang yun sila. Yung next na dalawa. So it reproduces by longitudinal binary fission. Okay? And it causes ping-pong disease. Diba? Kanina, ping-pong disease. Why ping-pong disease? Diba? Kasi pabalik-balik lang yung infection while you have sexual contact with your partner. So, ping-pong disease. It has 4 sub-equal flagella and 1 undulating membrane. Okay? So, its movement is jerky. Jerky movement. So, di ba lahat sila jerky movement. So, let's go to the pathophysiology of Trichomonas vaginalis. Okay? So, for the females, they will manifest vaginal discharge or irritation and itchiness. So, vaginal discharge, irritation, or itchiness. Profuse, watery, mucoid, or grayish vaginal discharge, and vulvar itchiness with burning sensation, urinary frequency, and dysuria. There is also punctate hemorrhages of the cervix. This is what you call the strawberry cervix. Strawberry cervix. Okay? So, punctate hemorrhages of the cervix is also called as the strawberry cervix. So, the Trichomonas vaginalis presents with strawberry cervix. So, it also can cause endometritis. So, it can cause infection of the fallopian tube. Okay? So, for the males, it is mostly asymptomatic. So different sila. Pag females, vaginal discharge, so marami siyang mga clinical manifestations for the females. Meanwhile, for the males, it is mostly asymptomatic. But its most common complication is prostatitis. So prostatitis is its most common complication. So inflammation of the prostate gland. So prostatitis, but there can also be infection of the seminal vesicles and the urethra. So pwede prostate, seminal vesicles, and urethra. So for the diagnostic tests for Trichomonas vaginalis, so its quickest and most inexpensive way is the wet preparation. Wet preparation. So it is the quickest and most inexpensive way. So what is the gold standard for Trichomonas vaginalis? It is culture. So the gold standard is culture. And you can use the Diamond's modified medium and also Feinberg and Whittington culture media. So, but you can, wag nyo nang ilagay yun. So, Diamond modified medium for culture. So, culture is gold standard. But the quickest and most inexpensive way, yan yung mostly ginagamit, is wet prep. But you can also find Trichomonas vaginalis in pap smear. So, it can be a stain smear using Gemsa, pap smear, acridine orange, and right stain. Okay? Gemsa, pap stain, acridine orange, and right stain. And its treatment is metronidazole when it is a drug of choice when you are pregnant, and pwede rin na tinidazole. And note that sexual contact is avoided during therapy. Kasi diba ping-pong disease siya, pabalik-balik lang siya. So there should be no sexual contact during the therapy. Okay? So after we have learned the characteristics of Trichomonas vaginalis, which is the only pathogenic trichomonad, let us know the difference